It's been the longest of treks. With a determined step, these 16 and 17-year-old boys have already crossed from West Africa to northern Italy in search of a better life. Ahead of them now, the French border and a perilous, nearly 2-kilometer high mountain pass. But this is not the first obstacle they faced on their journey, and they say they're ready for anything.
Mourir. Mourir jeune, j'ai la peur, mais c'est un truc qui va jamais rater. Oui, parce que c'est un verre que chacun de nous va boire.
Simone, a local mountain rescuer, tries to convince them not to go, but the boys head up nonetheless. So too does Simone. He doesn't find the group, but later learns that they had to turn around near the top. This winter, for the first time, he says, he's spent more time rescuing migrants than skiers.
Because they don't have the experience, you know, they don't know much about snow.
But the rescuers don't always find the migrants. Often, all they can do is follow their tracks until they get too dangerously high and night falls. The footsteps of the very luckiest migrants will lead here, to the French side of the border on the other side of that mountain. It is, as you can see, extremely treacherous. It is very late at night, which is when they'll arrive after a long night's walk, and it is -10. I'm extremely well equipped. They arrive here, of course, with nothing, often frostbitten, but always cold and exhausted and confused. And even now, after all they've been through, it is still on the kindness of strangers that they depend for their very survival. Strangers like Jeff and Gaspar, who are heading off on their evening round.
On va aller jeter un coup d'œil là.
They're part of a group of local volunteers that got together this winter to try and save the migrants coming over the mountain. They worry that only the melting of the snow will tell how many have been lost. On average, they find about 10 a night, although tonight it's been quieter than usual until their phone rings.
Allô, oui, bonjour. Vous parlez français?
A desperate voice on the other end tries to describe where his group is, and so we set off in the car in search of a tunnel. But after a couple of hours of fruitless searching, Gaspar realizes that the tunnel the migrants are at is in fact the one at the very top of the mountain. So after a very short night, we set off to scale it from the French side. But once at the top, there is no one there. We're now at the very top of the mountain and overlooking Italy down below. This is probably the most dangerous part of the crossing, and you can see how treacherous conditions are as a result of the snowfall of the last few days. Large risks of avalanches, of course, and you can see that the pass has been cut off, which is why those groups that we've been trying to reach over the course of the last few days have just been getting stuck on that side of the tunnel, unable to pass this way, and therefore obliged to head back down to Italy. At other times, though, this is also where migrants have been getting stuck, and with disastrous consequences. Mamadou Ba is one of those who made it to France. But after a night spent trapped at the top of the mountain, he lost his feet to frostbite.
Je suis vie, mais comme je vis pour rien, quoi. Je peux plus rien faire, quoi. Donc, ça fait super mal à cœur, quoi. Ça fait beaucoup mal.
Mamadou made his crossing before the current wave of migrants, but he has not made it far. A year and a half on, he continues to live in the shadow of the mountain that he still can't bear to look at. Melissa Bell, CNN, in the Alps.